Alright, down here I have Kitch's blueprints, and I have my blueprints. And we're going to find out what's different about these two blueprints. So if I grab the blueprint 2 and select this section over here, you can see that on Kitch's blueprints the power pole is lined up with the center of the rail segments. So the center of the power pole, center of the rail segments, they make a straight line. On mine, there's the center of the power pole, and there's the center of the rail segments. So you can see they're misaligned. Now, why is this important? Well, let's go over here, and we'll take a rail segment, and right here in the center, this represents the center of this whole intersection. So let's copy this section and rotate it around. You can see that the centerpiece is on top of the other centerpiece, and those power poles are still perfectly lined up. And in fact, if I turn it 90 degrees, the centerpiece, when it's on top of that other centerpiece, that bottom power pole lines up with either side. So no matter how I turn this intersection, the power poles will always line up with the other power poles. On Kitch's, here's the center of his intersection. So we'll put that there. You can see it's centered between these two rails and centered between those two rails. That's why I'm calling this the center. Sorry, I should have explained it over there. Alright, so let's copy his section here and line up. It's harder to see on his, but if we line it up, you can see that the power poles on both sides are misaligned now, because the center distance between the power poles is not lined up with the center of the intersection. Let's turn it 90 degrees. Okay, so his left-hand power pole will line up with the intersection at the bottom of the T-junction. The right-hand power pole will not. So when you rotate this one, because everything is off-center, if these two are the ones being switched, then they're still going to line up. But this one won't line up with these two. So whenever you rotate this intersection, and the points aren't going to line up with the rest of them. So let's get rid of all of that. Paste down Kitch's blueprints and 2 straight segments. And if we want to change this so that it goes north instead, we'll delete all that. Grab the intersection and turn it north. And you see, if we align that right side power pole, then the rails don't line up at the bottom. If we align all the rails, then that right side power pole no longer lines up. Alright. Delete. Whoop. Missed it. There we go. Delete all that. We'll place down mine and the rail segments. And then we want to delete it and have it go north instead. There we go. So there it is. Turn it to the north. And you can see the rails line up and the power poles line up. So there you go. Center of the power pole, center of the rail segments need to be misaligned when you're using the 3-wide system. And for those that don't know, I should have... There's 1, 2, 3. This is the 3-wide system. Alright, and that explains power pole misalignment.